We are live. Good morning, everyone. Happy Tuesday. Hope you're having a great start to your week. Just getting set up here in the studio for our second podcast of the week. What a treat we've got for you this week. You're pretty much going to see me, Lauren, Savannah, and Caitlin all live. So today we're going to have some fun talking about supplements. I just put in the chat, what is the number one supplement that you take? So when you get a chance, if you want to comment, what is the number one supplement you take? I know for most people, it's probably going to be something like this, which how cool is this coffee cup, right? It's pretty close when you look at that. I think Ollie is a little bit cooler than, what is he, Bellwood Bear? Ollie the Ox. Ollie the Ox or Bellwood Bear. You put that in the chat. What a week. What a couple of weeks. I mean, I don't know. Most gyms are packed in January. Oxfit is jam-packed in December with everybody taking on the 12 days of Oxfit. I know I'm feeling a little sore from last week still, but something crazy happens when you do these 12 days of Oxfit that your body finds a way. You know you're going to be training the next day, and your body just finds a way to keep going, right? So I know most people take on this 12 days of Oxfit challenge, and they don't know. They've never worked out every day. They've always scheduled rest days, and we're closed on Sundays. So most people have never just gone 12 days in a row. And I know I did a podcast couple of months ago with Greg, and he did the 12 days of Oxfit. And that was the first time he'd ever worked out 12 days in a row. And after that, he took the Ox 100 challenge, and he just never looked back, which most people wait till January to get started. We're already flying. And December's a weird month, right? Like, we do this first 12 days. We'll get to December 12th. To get on the Ox list, to get on the All-Americans list is 18 classes. So most people, if you've done the 12 days of Oxfit, you're like 5 classes away, 6 classes away from being on our All-Americans list for December. And then you never know what's going to happen. Weather, snow, especially in Atlanta. Like, it could be 80 degrees today, and then it could be snowing tomorrow, right? So getting this 12 days in is key to your 12 days. So good morning, Savannah. I see you throwing up the Ox. Lucas, good morning. What do you think? Brownwood Bear or Ollie the Ox? I know, I'm biased. I still think this is the best coffee cup in Atlanta. I haven't seen one that cool. But Ollie, I think, still takes it. Vote in the comments who you think takes it. Ollie or Bellwood Bear. It's pretty dope. Good morning, Lauren. Man, all my training partners are here. How you guys feeling? How you feeling this morning? What's sore? Oh, there's Caitlin. I was worried for a minute, Caitlin. You're on the other side of this wall, so I was worried I was taking all the internet. All of the Ox all the way. I agree. Very similar, Lauren. You're right. So if you're a conspiracy theorist, you might be thinking, did they see Ollie first? Because we go there a lot. Did they see Ollie first? Did they steal Ollie? It's a good question. Very good question, Bellwood. But you're a small business. I'll let it slide. We'll let it slide because it's cool and your coffee's great. So Savannah feels amazing this morning. I don't feel amazing this morning, and it's mostly Lucas's fault because he went out way too hot on round 1 yesterday, and then he couldn't hold it, and I had to hold it, and now my back is... I said before I started the workout, I was like, use good technique on the snatches, especially if you're doing, naughty and nice, right? I chose naughty, so 18 snatches, 6 rounds. Be good to yourself. Be kind to yourself. And then Lucas went out like a madman, like he usually does. So here I am, just yanking a dumbbell off the floor. Favorite conspiracy? Put that in the comments. Caitlin, do not put that in the comments. We'll say this is our favorite conspiracy. We'll call this our favorite conspiracy. Haven't done Pepper Elf yet. What's your favorite one so far? I mean, I enjoyed doing Fran because I haven't done Fran in a long time. I haven't done it since last year. Every day at training, this is pretty funny. Yeah, Lucas says his back shot. Yeah, thanks. Actually, no, it's your fault. It's your fault my back feels like this. So, what was I saying? Favorite workout of the 12 days so far? Fran has got to be up there just because it's been 12 months since we've done it. And yeah, Lucas said something to me the other day. He's like, I wish I could know my Fran time without doing Fran. And I think that is the best way to describe it. Like yesterday's workout, you always think you can go in your mind, the workout is different to how it feels. And you forget instantly when you finish the workout how it feels. And I literally, no matter how many times you do a workout like Fran, you forget what it feels like. And me and Cash did it on Friday. And when we finished it, I was like, put your barbell away now, because I know you're not going to want to put it away in 10 minutes when the pain kicks in. And that was like yesterday's workout, right? You think you can go faster, but then when you're in it, you realize why you're not going faster. And you're not going faster because it hurts. And so you slow down. So Fran's up there. DT, I was disappointed, or whatever it's called, double time we call it. I got to get better at that in the new year. I really want to get better at that in the new year. But I don't know what, if you remember when you first started doing these kind of workouts, you've done like the way my workouts worked before I found like functional group training, which the way I used to work out for basketball was I'd go in and I'd do like 20 minutes of interval, 20 to 30 minutes of like interval cardio on a bike or runner. There wasn't rowing machines really in the gyms. So it was like a bike or runner, and I definitely didn't use the elliptical. Like, who the hell uses the elliptical? Lauren used to use the elliptical all the time because her knees were so shot. And like, have you ever been on an elliptical? It just feels so ridiculous. It's like this, right? If you still go to the gym and you're on the elliptical, I hope you catch a glimpse of yourself in the mirror and then decide to never use that thing again. Wild piece of equipment. How that sold to gyms and people decided that was a good piece of equipment. I mean, that's a conspiracy, Caitlin, right? Like, let's get into that. Like, I think that was Big Soda. I think that was Big Soda that put ellipticals in gyms to stop people working out. See, now we're talking. This is a podcast now. Big Soda put ellipticals in gym. You heard it here first. I'm breaking this story. Coca-Cola, if you're listening, this is going to get shut down. This is going to get shut down. This podcast, we're probably going to be shadow banned this morning because I've figured out Big Soda put ellipticals into gyms so that people would look ridiculous and it stopped normal people working out. That's what happened. So got to look out. You got to watch yourself. You got to. They're crafty. They play the long game is what they do. They play the long game. Anyway, back to my workout routine. What I used to do. Used to go in. I never used to go on the elliptical. So let's get that thing clear. Bike, or I love the exercise bike. And the exercise bikes were trash too. Like, they had them resistance things that didn't really give you any resistance. I can't remember. Did I take headphones and like watch the TVs? I think I used to watch the TVs. And I used to just do an interval workout, right? Like warm up, 1 minute on, 1 minute off for like 20 minutes. And then I go do back and biceps, chest and triceps, leg day. It would all be segmented training. And that would be my workout. And then went into my first gym, and the workout was just like a barbell complex. And we didn't even have machines really in the gyms when I first went in. I think there was like 3 rowers in the corner. And it would just be you would be the machine every single day, right? And to go from that to your first workout where it's like just you and a bar is, I remember being like, how can you get a cardio workout when it's just you and a barbell? And then you do something like double time. And I would say that hurts my lungs more than any, I can't say more than Fran, but more than most other workouts. It's a weird feeling, right? Like I still am not used to that feeling. 10, 12, God, I don't want to count how many years, but like a decade in, let's just say a decade, I'm still not used to them kind of workouts, and probably because they're not my strength that I don't lean into them. But I think 2026, I'm going to lean into something like double time. Yeah, what do you want to get better at when you look at them workouts? Which one stands out? Like yesterday's workout, that's my jam, right? Pacing out a few different movements, I'm good at that. So I don't need to get better at that kind of workout. But Fran, I did great, so I don't really need to do better at that. Just keep chipping away at Savannah's programming. But yeah, something like double time, I'm really not good at it in comparison. So I would like to focus on that. What do you think? What do you want to get better at? Lauren said thick and tired was fun. That was fun. Different. That was a different workout, right? Like an all-out sprint and then bench press, an all-out sprint and then bench press. So that was fun. Where are you guys at in the comments? I want to know what workout you want to get better at. Who else is here? I see 7 people. Talk to me if you're here. Say hello. What else we talk about? Oh, we got awards this weekend. That's going to be fun. Vespa, Caitlin, right? Vespa in Glenwood. That's going to be a blast. So we got awards banquet. So when you finish your 12 days, we go celebrate a little bit. There's over 100 people coming. So yeah, definitely Fran. Okay, get better out your favorite. If everybody's workout is Fran, then Savannah, if you're listening, it's going to be a crazy 2026. Mikey B, hello, good morning. I haven't seen you in here. I thought you had a real job, not like these people in the comments. Who's that? Coach Salty. What's she saying? She struggled with toaster bar and pull-up workouts. Want to string those together. Oh, okay. That's a good. How are you going to do that? How are you going to get better at the pull-up and toaster bar workouts? Yeah, I agree. They're just sick and twisted. So, Mike, what have you missed? If you're just tuning in, you've missed. We were talking about our favorite workouts. I put in a comment, what is your number one supplement? No one's talked about that yet. We also established that the ellipticals were put into gyms to stop people working out, and we think it was by Big Soda. And Caitlin definitely agrees with that. Caitlin will probably tell you who else it might be. Who else do you think is behind that, Caitlin? And then Lauren said, have you seen Mike's biceps lately? And I don't know how she's been seeing your biceps, Mike. So you better clear this up real quick. You've been sending pictures of your biceps to people. I haven't seen any on your Instagram. So how is Lauren seeing your biceps? Fran destroyed your soul. See, that's more like it. We've got some normal people in the chat now, not just people talking about how Fran's your favorite workout. All right, so we'll get serious in a minute. So get your mind right. Number one supplement for Savannah is, okay. All right. She saw him at 6:30 a.m. So we're good. We cleared that up. Caitlin's going to get the podcast shut down real quick. So Savannah's number one supplements. I thought she said creatine, caffeine. Cheers. Here's to that. That was my number one supplement, I think, for the past 5 years since I had a kid. I didn't drink coffee until 2020. But, a pandemic, a new baby, and all 2 gyms and a workspace, caffeine. I got way too addicted to coffee and energy drinks. And luckily I've broke the energy drink trap now. I'm on like 1 a week, which Caitlin will be very proud of, and just save them for competitions and stuff like that. But it was not good. I used to think I had anxiety for a minute, and it was just that I was drinking way too much caffeine. So we've got magnesium in the chat for Lauren, and we've got Caitlin with a probiotic, which I agree for you, Caitlin. That is your number one supplement. For most people, we don't need that, but we know Caitlin, her stomach is insane. So we've got caffeine, great supplement, magnesium, which Lauren said that's a number one. And, I think she's just saying that because she's all big on this mom's topic, right? So mom should take magnesium. We get it, Lauren. All right, we get it. Save it for your podcast. We're all trying to get jacked in here. Caitlin, probiotic. Yeah, right. We know everyone's favorite supplement's creatine. Who's this? Theo Phantom 4744. Hi everyone. My number one supplement is protein shake with days. Nice. Steve M4744. Still online? Caitlin, am I? Steve. It's Steve. Double check. I'm still online. Beefy, am I still online? It just kept saying that I got cut off line for some reason. So sorry about that if you saw me turning off. But hey, Steve. Steve, is it Steve Maloney? I'm on but blurry. All right, let's hope it catches up a little bit. Let me know if it clears up, right? I think all these people chatting, I think we're testing the internet a little bit today, but we'll eventually get it down. On but blurry is probably a good thing. If I watch this back, that will definitely up my confidence. All right, I've been talking too much. Let's get into the good stuff, okay? So, Steve Maloney, good to see you. All right, so today we're going to be talking about, I'm going to call it the essential 5 supplements. Essential 5 supplements that you should be taking. It is obviously mostly focused on men. I work with men, but women should be taking these supplements too. So if you want to know this stuff, that's what we're going to get into right now. I'll hit up the chat again when we get back on, but I'm just going to go into what I want to tell you. I've got them all here. The top 5 essential supplements that you should be taking. So you work too hard to not look and feel at your best. These are the top 5 essential supplements to elevate your game and conquer all your goals in 2026. In an ideal world, you'd have time to cook every meal from scratch. You'd only eat grass-fed and organic, locally sourced ingredients. Then there'd be a chance that you wouldn't need any of the supplements that I'm going to talk today. However, if you don't live in the rainforests of Costa Rica, you're not mega rich, and you've got a job, then this video is for you. I'm going to give you the top 5 daily supplements, but I'm also going to give you the easiest ways to take them, the ones that taste the best, and I'm going to help you create a daily supplement routine so they don't just sit in your closet and you just peeing all your money away every week. So, do you want to know what daily supplements separates your average Joe from all these super alpha strong guys that you see? Well, The obvious answer that we're all expecting is human growth hormone, HGH. Take it once a day, no problem. All right, clearly I'm joking. As you can see, I'm not a massive juice head. So why should you listen to me? Well, chances are you're not that too. You're just like me. I'm a husband, a father, a business owner, and I didn't hit the genetic lottery. I don't want to be on testosterone and steroids for the rest of my life. Maybe later in my life, I'll start taking that. But right now, I want to know how naturally I can just feel amazing, right? Also, I'm not sponsored by, and I don't have any collaborations with any of these supplement companies. So what I'm telling you is just what's worked for me. So let's start off with the number one supplement. We're going to rebrand it a little bit. Okay. So you guys have to come up with a good name because I think it's struggling in terms of branding. So the Big D, Sunshine Power Pills, Solar Power Punch, Sun God, Mega D, D Force. What about Dominator D? I like that one. Crush the darkness within. So this is it, vitamin D. I used to get so frustrated working out 2 hours a day, eating pretty good, and still not having a six pack. But what I've realized working with hundreds of clients on their nutrition, the food industry is poisoning us, right? So go to any pool, look around. All the dudes look kind of pregnant. They don't have pecs. They've got like man boobs. And while someone in the food industry finds this funny, I don't think it's very funny. What is also not funny is over the last 5 years, the pandemic's accelerated our vitamin D deficiency. We spend so much time looking at screens now, eating crap. For adults, it's not easy to see your nutrient deficiency, but we are seeing a rise in like Victorian era diseases returning in children. Scabies, rickets, and scurvy. That's the shit that people were getting on the Santa Maria and when Columbus was sailing the ocean, right? That's crazy that that's happening. So if this is showing up in children, it's also in adults. But because our bones are developed, we're not seeing the effects. Everyone in your family should be taking Dominator D or vitamin D as a supplement. You need vitamin D so your body can use calcium and phosphorus to build bones and support healthy tissues. You need vitamin D, right? Something also that's very interesting, I just saw studies come out that we've been told we need 600. The recommended daily allowance is 600. I never remember what IUs mean, but whatever an IU is, right? It just came out that's 8 times lower than what it should be. And to me, that's crazy. That seems intentional, right? So like I've been taking one of these a day because it says I only need one, and that would be 5,000 IUs. But really, I can take 2, right? So I'm going to take 2 of these every day. And I think you should check yourself to see what you should be taking, because especially if you're listening in America, if you're listening in Georgia, it's going to be cloudy. If you're listening in England, you should definitely be taking one because it's always like that. But we all should be taking a vitamin D. And I know it's not super exciting, but whatever you're taking, double it. Whatever you are taking, double it. So that's exciting. The best way to take vitamin D, I think it's D3 and K2, but you could also argue maybe it's some kind of cod liver oil. I struggle to take that. But there's also different fish oils you can take that also help you get the fatty acids. But for me, D3 and K2 has been the best one. So you didn't come here just to hear about vitamin D, even though it's essential. You want to know how to get swole. Well, some people mentioned it before we started, but there's only one way to get swole and one supplement that you need for that. And you might find it quite boring again, but good old whey protein, right? Do you need to supplement with whey protein? No. Okay, moving on. Creatine. All right, but seriously, most people are under eating protein. And if you want to get stronger, build more muscle, you need 1 pound of protein per pound of body weight. Super simple, right? You probably take more than that, but let's just start off there. Without protein, there is no muscle growth. Next thing I'm going to say, with so many options of whey protein, which one is the best, right? And that is, you go into all these supplement stores, there's just lines and lines of protein. Which one is the best? Well, just like vitamin D, obviously, the most natural is ideal. So for me, that comes from cows or from concentrate, especially if you're using a shake as a meal replacement. However, post-workout, an isolate has been shown to signal protein faster, right? So this is just your whey that you should take as a meal replacement. This is what you would probably want to take, an isolate. You can't handle the lactose in whey. I would recommend carnivore beef isolate. And if you're vegan, you need some vegan options, go to eatdirt.com, and I'm sure they'll be able to provide you with some solutions over there. Okay, so whey protein. Now let's talk about the best supplement, creatine. Everyone, I repeat, everyone should be supplementing with creatine, especially you eatdirt.com subscribers, right? In order to get 5 grams of creatine, which I would say is the minimum per day, you would need to eat 32 ounces of steak per day. Sounds like an awesome challenge. Something Caitlin does every day. But you can get that same amount from a couple of these capsules or right here. What is the best creatine for you? The marketing gurus, they want your money. They've introduced some fancy sounding creatines like this one. But you just end up spending more money and potentially getting an inferior product, right? So you can argue, is crealkaline better than creatine monohydrate? I don't know. But people used to cycle on and off creatine. They also used to load up on creatine. But the more it's been researched, it should just be taken as a daily supplement, right? Just put it in a daily supplement, however you need to take it, pills, or throw it in your protein shake, right? Whatever, just find a way to get it in there. You're ready to say hello to a new era of vitality. This next supplement will help you reclaim your energy, strength, and confidence like never before. And it is a pre-workout. I don't have this with me, but the perfect pre-workout is some kind of nitric oxide, some kind of beta-alanine, and some kind of caffeine. I like to think of pre-workout like a morning coffee. Is it essential? No. Is it necessary to crush the morning? Probably some form of caffeine will help. You don't have to take a pre-workout, but it can help your workouts go to another level, especially if you have a busy life, which most people listening to this would say they have a busy life. You could just down a coffee, but for me, it doesn't have the same effect as a pre-workout. Even if some of that effect is placebo, you got to keep in mind that the only drug that has ever worked 100% of the time in studies is the placebo effect. So I used to take a pre-workout that had all kinds of stuff in. I like nitric oxide. It gives me a pump. I like beta-alanine to feel itchy and tingly, but also it gets my juices flowing. And then caffeine to get me focused and fire me up, right? I have started mixing that up, right? So I used to get a little bit hooked on the energy drinks because they were a simple way to take in caffeine, pre-workout, all that stuff was all mixed in. Now I just do creatine and beta-alanine, right? I just mix these together. This tastes great, so it replaces that energy drink thing I was kind of fixated on. And then this beta-alanine gets me feeling all itchy and makes me feel like I'm ready to work out. So I'm going to find another way in the new year to add in some nitric oxide just to get that like extra pump and get me going. But right now, that's just been working really well. But anything over that, I think is a little bit of overkill. And it's just the marketing people capturing you again. Them 3, I think, are the most studied. And I think they've had the biggest effect as a pre-workout. They're my favorites. The last thing is you want to find out how Big Soda tricked you into taking a Coke and a Pepsi to the gym every day. You're like, I don't take no Coke and Pepsi to the gym every day. But if you take a Powerade or a Gatorade, or if you're listening to this overseas, a Lucozade to the gym, you are taking a Coke or a Pepsi into the gym every day with you, and you just don't need to do it. You're not going to get what you need. During the workout, you want some electrolytes and maybe some essential amino acids, right? If you know me, I think water sucks. Sorry, Earth. I'm sorry, Greta. But most of the developed world has come up with way better drinks than tap water, right? The fitness gurus will tell you to put some Himalayan sea salt in your water. Have you ever accidentally swallowed ocean water? Yeah, that's not a good drink to take to the gym, right? During workouts, I used to drink BCAAs because I like to have this awesome blue drink that I could sip on. Looked cool. It was delicious. And then I would drink coconut water as my electrolyte because I wanted everyone to know that I was like a super CrossFitter. But then I eventually realized coconut water tastes like, I don't even want to say, and the price goes up every 3 days. So I've traded that for what is now used to be BCAAs, is essential amino acids, and a simple electrolyte, Nuun. Why? Again, same story. The food we're eating just doesn't cut it, right? You could probably get all your essential amino acids if you could eat a ton of steak, but you're not going to get all your essential amino acids from dirt and from beetroot. So maybe you add some of this in. Okay? So I'm not going to tell you. I was going to tell you what all the essential amino acids are here. Let's have a look. L-theanine, L-phenylalanine, L-lysine, L-methionine, L-hirsutisine, L-tryptophan, L-leucine, got that one, L-leucine, that's a good one, L-isoleucine, and L-velophelinine, right? So that's got all your L-serotonins in there. So why would you not take it? Look at all them L-sulfonines. And if you don't want L-sulfonine, then don't take it. But you're probably not going to get it from your food. And it gives you something to sip on rather than that horrible, horrible stuff that does nothing for you, called Powerade, Gatorade, Lucozade, anything with aid. Don't need it. Throw one of them in your water, a little bit of salt. How much salt's in this? There's no sugar in it. There's no fake sugar in it. I was joking about beetroot juice. It does have beet juice in it. Potassium. Get it in there. All right. So where are we at? Pretty much my top 5. Anything I want to finally wrap it up with? Well, I suppose the easiest way, right? You've probably seen your grandma and granddad with something like this, right? With all their pills in it. And I'm not just an old man, not yet anyway, but either you're going to be putting medications in here or you're going to be putting supplements in here. And I think this is the best way to get all your supplements. Fill them up. Don't forget to take them. It's pretty easy. Like most of the ones I showed, you're going to drink, but also you can get them, all these things in pill form. Please like, subscribe, comment if you enjoyed my review of the top 5 essential supplements for men and women. Everybody should be taking these. And that's a wrap on the top 5 supplements. So let's have a look, see what you guys think of my top 5 supplements. Lucas just laughing at me saying, sorry, Greta. An entire show of you reading ingredients. Thanks, Caitlin. Yeah. Let's have a look, see if we've got any more ingredients that I could read to you. This one's got, I'm not going to say that because that's embarrassing. Beta-alanine, that's easy. Have a look at this one. It's just straight creatine. I didn't read the ingredients on this one. It has sucralose in it, which I'm not very happy with, so I'll change that out in the new year. Wondered why it tasted so good. So don't get that creatine if you're trying to avoid fake sugar. All right. What's Lucas saying here? Quick review of the 5 again. I will give you a quick review of the 5 again. Lucas, thank you for paying attention. So let's go to the top. Vitamin D or Dominator D, depending on what you want to call it. Then we had whey protein, which whey protein is cheaper than isolate. Why would you take them both? I would take a whey protein, this one, the cheaper one, as a meal replacement or just any time in the day. And then I take this one, the isolate, after workouts. Also, people that think they're allergic to whey, try this isolate before you acknowledge and accept that you're allergic to whey, because if you are allergic to whey, you end up like Caitlin and you end up with like some kind of like pea protein or something like that, and they are gross. So try an isolate first. Maybe try like a beef protein first before you jump away from that. You do not like your pea protein. Then creatine obviously is the number one. And you should be taking, they say 5 milligrams is minimum. I think that's base minimum. You should be taking 10 of that. And then what kind of pre-workout you like. Right now, I'm just doing creatine and beta-alanine, super simple. And then something to sip on during your workout to get your essential aminos. Because, you know, food's expensive. You're probably not eating a lot of steak. And then salt. So to wrap it up, we got vitamin D, essential. Double or triple your dose on vitamin D. Whey protein, take one when you wake up, take one after a workout. Then most people are drastically under eating whey protein. Then you've got creatine, 10 milligrams a day minimum, I would say. Then supplement, pre-workout, keep it simple, creatine and beta-alanine, and then throw some salt in your water. If you don't throw salt in your water, you're just going to pee it out and you're not going to be hydrating. So hope you enjoyed my podcast today. Thank you all for commenting and joining in. I enjoyed going through my top 5. It's taken me a long time to narrow it down to that. What I would say and what I do start my men on is I don't just start them off with 5 supplements like that. I start off with just protein and just vitamin D in the first 30 days. You have to take protein. Nobody doesn't respond to taking more protein, right? Everybody's drastically under eating protein. So it's not like we have to test protein, but what you do have to test is which protein works for you. And she's really trying to influence people to get this stuff. It is disgusting. So try as many different kinds of whey protein or like a beef protein isolate before you end up going to some kind of pea. And then vitamin D, like I said, like the last 2 days, I've noticed that people are saying 8,000 units of vitamin D, which is from the recommended daily of 600. I'm going to double and triple my dose of this. And I mean, I want to see what happens. Like, I don't want to get sick this winter. And if you don't want to get sick this winter, I think this is going to be the key. And why have they told us so low? What is that? Get out your house as much as you can. And just get out your house as much as you can and take this supplement. So that's where we start. Then we start adding stuff in, right? After 30 days. Everybody doesn't respond to creatine. I don't think I respond massively to creatine, which is why I take a lot of it. I've noticed some people just like swell up when they take creatine. I wish that was me, but I just don't have the genetics. But yeah, I think you need to be taking at least 10 of that. And then the other stuff is kind of extra, right? Like the essential amino acids. If you eat a lot, if you have got a lot of steak and stuff in there, then you're good on the essentials. But most people are not, especially with the economy, especially with the price. I mean, you can't go to the grocery store now and walk out without dropping at least $300 and you've just got a basket in your hand, right? So is it an essential? It's called an essential amino acid. So if you're not getting it, you're missing out on them essential amino acids. Dude, what a great question. I'm sorry I missed this. What about COQ10? What about COQ10? If you're taking your energy drinks, you're getting your COQ10. So I don't even worry about it. I'm off the energy drink, so next podcast we'll get into some Cock 10. Make sure you're getting your Cock 10 in, because no idea what it stands for, but it's got to do something, hasn't it? It's got to do something. All right. I think that's it for me today. I had fun. I had fun hanging out with you guys. I think there was like 8 or 9 people on here at one point. What should we close it out with? Well, we'll close it out with today. Get outside. It is cloudy, so you're not going to get a ton of vitamin D, but it's better than none. So get outside, walk around, throw some salt into your water, and take your creatine and work out today. And we will see you at Oxfit. If you want anything else from me, ant@ox.fit. Email me anytime. And also on Instagram @AntOxley. I respond to your DMs. Any questions on supplements is kind of what I'm going to focus on this week. And then I will see you on Thursday. I'm doing another show on Thursday at 10 a.m. But tomorrow, I think it'll be with Savannah. Savannah tomorrow. Savannah, and she has a special guest talking about Ox 100 tomorrow. But you'll see me on Thursday, and then you see Caitlin on Friday. Every day, 10 a.m. this week. Tune in. Just have it up while you work. Let's hang out. Let's comment. Let's have a good time. And I'll see you in the gym. And if I don't